Well, it looks like 1280 by 720 it is. Alrighty, as we are down to the final. Bit rate maybe helping a little bit. It looks like here we might be rolling with what we've got. So apologies for that, as I had to get it sorted out there. And now it is time for qualifying. And as we get ready here tonight at Five Flags Speedway, just around 26 to 28 drivers, it looks like, locked in for tonight. Larson Parker early out on the qualifying session here. He's usually a pretty good threat for top positions in qualifying. We'll see how well his qualifying session goes here tonight. We've also got, it looks like, Brady Weileman in the show again tonight. He missed a couple weeks there, and good to see Brady Weileman back in the field. Top of the board right now, David Hill, Cody Bame, Zachary Onen, and Larson Parker, fifth fastest. Doug Gayer out on track. Looks like Brady Weileman jumped to the top with a 17.24. And that's right now your fastest time was a 17.23 by Brady Weileman. Jeff By Jr. on a secondary lap here. Let's see if he can bump it up from a 17.30. Elliott Carlson just jumped to the top with a 17.21. William Griffith up into second with a 17.23. And there we have it. Our points leader, Dylan Bates, jumps to the top of the board. 17.18. Don't know if these cars can get into the 16-second bracket, but they're definitely flirting with getting there. 17.13 out of Dylan Bates. Last week's winner, Bill Tomer, qualifying mid-pack here at a 17.30. And they're they're stacked in there pretty tightly in the 17.25 to 17.30 bracket, all the way in the middle of the qualifying order here. Mike Alexander jumps up to fifth on his lap there. Corey Bigley might have another lap to show for here. Whoa, and out of nowhere, Kieran Church with a 17.09 just knocked out the fastest lap here in qualifying. And there is a long stall. It doesn't look like the remaining 3 drivers are going to go out unless, here we go, Matthew Barkhouse. He wouldn't give up a chance to qualify. He's been stout week in, week out, running up front, fighting for the wins. We'll see how well his qualifying laps go here. Well, first lap time is good for 9th fastest with a 17.23. Yeah, it looks like that's all he's going to give it. 17.23 puts him top 10 here tonight. And that may be our entire lineup here of qualifiers. Looks like 26 of the 28 timed in. Should be all 28 cars in the field tonight. And there you have it, folks. Time to get the show on the road. And so your starting lineup here tonight. Let's start from the top and work our way back this time. Starting pole position alongside the points leader, it is Kieran Church and Dylan Bates, followed by Aaron Abendroth and AJ Rogers. Eric Tracy and Corey Bigley round out your top 6. And then you got Mike Alexander, Elliot Carlson, Matthew Barkhouse, William Griffith, Brady Weileman, and Zachary Onan. Then we've got Dylan Schreiner, Jeff By Jr. Last week's winner, Bill Tomer, is going to have to come from deep in the field alongside Caleb Hill, Josh Oswald, Jason Lottridge, Jason Dinsmore, Tyler Rice, Tim Weinreich, Rick Rube, Doug Gayer, Larson Parker, with Shane Klein and Jacob Boehm rounding out the field here tonight. There we have our current points leader, Dylan Bates. And he's got a pretty neat lead of about 22 points over Eric Tracy, who's in second. Eric Tracy starting top 10 here tonight. Cody Boehm. If I'm looking here, is top 12 start for Cody Boehm. And AJ Rogers also in the top 5. So we've got 4 of our title contenders. Heck, Kieran Church is 5th in the points, and he's pole position. So we've got a pretty good field of our title contenders stacked in there at the front. $125 laps here tonight from Five Flags Speedway. as we are getting ready to start the ITZR ARCA Racing here tonight. Pace car is off. Kieran Church will lead them to the start. Green flag and we're off and rolling. Aaron Abendroth, that's a very neat looking car there. I almost liken it to an Excite scheme, seeing that pink and blue kind of combination there. One of my favorite Jeff Burton paint schemes. It may not be the intended purpose, but it definitely gives me some Jeff Burton vibes. And already off to the early lead, it is Bates taking it away from Church. But it is a long race, 125 laps of strategy. You know, you might as well save your tires now. Don't burn them up. Kieran Church had the fastest lap in qualifying, so he's got the advantage of that pit stall on pit road. Whether or not they're going to have to factor in to tonight's race, we'll see. Some of these short track races, if it happens to stay green flag all the way through, who knows if we'll even need spare tires. So far, so good. Very orderly through the first 5 laps here at Five Flags Speedway. Kieran Church looking way low, getting onto the apron there. We got a move being made there for 3rd place. That would be the 66 of Eric Tracy trying to take the spot from Aaron Abendroth. And then once you get stuck up high, it's like a carousel. You get stuck up there and just fall backwards. Not the place you want to be right now for that 65 car. As also the 75 of Mike Alexander getting by him. And he's in a new paint scheme there. It looks like Alani New, which I want to say is an energy drink. Very flashy looking new paint scheme out of Mike Alexander there. Always seems to roll into these races with some neat looking paint schemes. It'd be kind of cool to do a fan vote of who's got the best looking paint schemes at any race you go to. And this field is very, very diverse and very colorful. I love it. 11 laps in, and we are steamrolling through the laps here at Five Flags Speedway. For Dylan Bates, the one thing on the line here tonight would be losing that top 5 streak. You know, 6 races in, 6 top 5s is not something you want to lose out on. The consistency, the dominance, that has been the name of the game for Dylan Bates. Kieran Church is kind of hunting here, trying to look for a spot to make the pass. And instead is getting passed up for trying some different lines there. Cost him the most as he's going to lose 4th and maybe even 5th here. That puts Eric Tracy up to 2nd, a new contender for the top spots here. Mike Alexander had a win on the season over at Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. That was a wild race where the winner had been rescinded and given to second place that night, who was just happened to be Mike Alexander. Looks like we might need to hop onto another car here. Here we go, the 75, Mike Alexander side by side with Eric Tracy. As this may very well be the longest green flag run we've had in ITZR racing action this season so far. In the ITZR ARCA Racing, it's been hard to see some good long green flag runs like this one, and we are getting spoiled here tonight. As Dylan Bates is not saving any time. He's trying to stay up front and lead all the laps he can here tonight. But Mike Alexander gets up to second, slowly but surely, methodically working his way up to the front. Some other key players in the running order here tonight. It looks like +7 so far for Larson Parker, who had a dismal qualifying session. The worst driver to drop backwards is Kiernan Church, -7 from pole position here tonight. Other than that, no one is out of the race. No one has been wrecked yet. We keep rolling, and they keep fighting. And this could very well turn into a heads-up barn brawl here tonight. Once you start seeing those tires fall apart, that's when the drivers have to take it into their own hands to try and maneuver and outmaneuver each other. Matthew Barkhouse is definitely looking to try and improve on his point standings tonight. As he sits 15th in the points. Out of the 6 races, he's only had 1 top 5 finish, which also equated for his 1 top 10 finish. The only other driver relatively close in the top 5 department with Dylan Bates is Cody Boehm, who's had 4 top 5s in 5 races. So he ended up missing a race at one point this season. Currently running 10th at the moment. Cody Boehm has gained 3 spots here. And he's got Brady Weileman right there behind him. There's a battle right here for 5th, 6th, or 6th and 7th, actually. And we've got Jason Dinsmore down pit road early. Kind of shaking up the strategy call here, coming down pit road on lap 36. I don't remember seeing Jason Dinsmore racing with the league yet this year, so maybe a newcomer. Has he got any damage on the car? No, it does not look like there's any damage. We've got our first caution of the night, and I believe that was Doug Gaillard. Well, he just lost it on the front stretch here. Doesn't look like he had too much damage, but a pretty easy caution for the first caution here tonight. And so, yeah, we made it 38 laps without a caution. That is the longest green flag stretch that we've had this year here in ITZR ARCA. These drivers have been putting on a stellar show here tonight. Dylan Bates, Mike Alexander, Matthew Barkhouse, Eric Tracy, and Aaron Abendroth, your top 5. Doesn't look like any takers for pit road, except for Doug Gaillard, who got spun out there at the front stretch. And Rick Rube, it looked like, spent a little bit of time on pit road as well. Alrighty, we're doubled up for this restart.